Hello and welcome, my name is Parky and today we're going to be doing another Tankard of Truth. See how slick that intro was now since last time. I've actually learned what I'm doing, believe it or not. So what we're going to be doing today is we're going to be answering some more of your questions that you very thankfully left in the comment section of the last video. So there's some quite strange ones and some quite good ones as well. So I'm hoping we get some good ones first. But one thing I want to do before we start is I want to plug the Facebook group, because I've just started a Facebook group on Facebook, as you can imagine from the name, and for those of you who don't know, basically what I'm doing is I'm posting quite regular, or hopefully regular, updates, behind the scenes type stuff, and things which are just going on in my life, which might interest some of you. Some of you might not care, but that's fine. It's there, links in the description, so it might be worth checking it out if you are interested. So what we're going to be doing today is I've got the Tankard of Truth here, so we're going to be answering some more questions. So unfortunately it is going to be random, so if you don't get included in today's episode, it will carry on through into the next episode. And if you want your questions featured, the best thing is to leave your comments in this video as well. So that's how it works, apparently. Well, that's what I've come up with. So the first question, what am I talking about? Parky, if you could be in one game, what would it be? And that's from Beanie39. Well, Beanie39. I think there's a lot of game worlds that I enjoy playing, sort of in a virtual sense, but I think a lot of them would probably be quite unsuitable for a human to live in. Like, for example, I'm a real fan of Borderlands 1. When it first came out, that was like my favourite game for years. However, maybe you wouldn't want to live there. I mean, it is quite an interesting world, but might not want to live in a world where everything is trying to kill you constantly, which is sort of like saying you want to live in the world of, like, The Last of Us, which, you know, might sound quite exciting from the offset, like living in a world of zombies, like seeing if you can survive and stuff. But I think in reality I'd rather live somewhere maybe like The Sims 4, where you can maybe like make a nice life for yourself, make a nice house quite quickly, and for a little amount of money. Let's face it, like, it's not really realistic how quickly you get money and you can build a house in that game. But yeah, maybe something like that. But then maybe it begs the question, if you live in The Sims 4, maybe you're being controlled by another person. So maybe you wouldn't want to do that. That's a roundabout answer. But we're going to get the next question because I have no idea what I'm talking about. Okay, so the second question. Let's do this. The Tankard of Truth. He is telling the truth today. The Tankard. Apparently it's a boy. I've just made that up. Okay, how do you keep motivated to do YouTube and keep making videos? That's from Anak the Majestic. Anak the Majestic. You have a very majestic name. Okay, so YouTube. My motivation, where does it come from? Well, I basically enjoy doing it. That's my major motivation, which is a bit of an obvious answer, as you can imagine. But I've done this for over 5 years, and it's something that I've always really wanted to do. I used to watch people all the time on YouTube doing it, and I thought, you know, why not give that a try myself? And it's been a bit of a struggle. Like, some channels do tend to be hit with the, like, lucky stick, is what I like to call it. It seems a bit random on YouTube, whether you get noticed or not. And this is something that my channel has experienced. I think I'm a bit of a slow burner, as it were. Maybe I haven't had my sort of epic breakthrough right now, but maybe in the future. Who knows? I might look back on this in a year, and I might be like, oh my god, like, how did it take me 5 years to get to this point? But yeah, I don't know, I don't really do it for the satisfaction of, like, being massive or famous. I certainly don't do it for money, because trust me, I do not make much money from this. But I think the thing that really keeps me going is really the interaction with you guys, seeing that people enjoy what I do. I'm at heart an entertainer. I enjoy entertaining people. And I think you really have to be an entertainer to want to do this sort of thing. It is a struggle sometimes to keep motivated to do it every day. In the past few years, maybe I've been a bit distracted with things like university, other stuff like that getting in the way. I've been working for a year. I've got a bit of free time now. But yeah, it does, you know, you struggle sometimes to keep motivated to do it every day, especially when it's a bit of a grind and you don't always get, like, instant gratification. Like streaming, sometimes I'd imagine a lot of streamers, you'd get more instant gratification, like you'd see, you know, people interacting with you on the spot as soon as you produce the content. Maybe with YouTube you don't get that, but I enjoy it. So I think that's probably a good enough answer. I don't know why I went in a big ramble about everything else, but that's my answer. Okay, let's search for the next question. There's a few different categories in here. I had a little look at these questions earlier, obviously, so let's have a little look. This one's from Connor Brady. Have you ever thought about streaming on Twitch? This is actually linking in with what I was just talking about. So Twitch is a thing that I would very much like to do, but the problem is that I don't have enough time frankly. I have lots of other things going on in my life. I struggle as is to produce about 1 video a day, if you can believe it. I know there's a lot of people who produce like 3 or 4 a day. They don't have anything else to do. Like, the people who do 3 or 4 videos a day, like, I socialise with people. I go to work. I have university stuff that I was doing and stuff like that. Maybe not so much at the moment, which is why I'm managing to do more. But yeah. And YouTube is something that I've put a lot of time and effort into, which means that I probably would never give it up. I would always keep going, even if no one watched me, frankly. But Twitch, Twitch is a thing. It's a strange beast that I'm not used to. I've got no real experience doing streams. I did a couple of charity live streams a few years ago, or in the last few years, and they were really good. They went down really well, and we had, you know, a few hundred people watching us at one point on one of them, which was good. But I just don't think that I'm quite mentally prepared for that sort of thing. I'm not prepared to start up, you know, a new venture of just talking to the camera again for like 4 hours a day playing games, because frankly I'd rather put my time into YouTube. And I think that you could probably appreciate that. Okay, so the next question from the Tankard of Truth. I love saying that. It makes me feel very important. Okay, so there we go. This one's from Demont Davis, or Demont Davis. I'm terrible with names, I apologise. Have you ever thought about stopping doing YouTube? Oh my god, this is like all leading on to each other. This is crazy today. Okay, so have I ever thought about stopping YouTube? No. Because I enjoy it, and I am too stubborn to stop. I'm a very stubborn person. As soon as I set my mind on something, especially like YouTube, where I've already put a lot of time into it, and I have a lot of hopes and dreams for my YouTube channel. Don't get me wrong, I'd love to be bigger. I would be too stubborn to stop. As I said, even if people stopped watching me and I had like 100 subscribers, I would still do it because I enjoy it. On the flip side, there have been times where I've struggled to do it. Frankly, there was this time a couple of years ago where there was a lot of like family matters going on. I won't go into details, and just like a shit ton of stuff going on at the same time, which made it really difficult for me to be motivated to do this. It's like tying everything together. It's crazy. But yeah, I'm not facing that now. So I've not got any plans of stopping YouTube at all. So don't worry, anyone. I'm never stopping. Maybe if I die, that would be the only thing that stopped me. But that's not very cheery, so we won't take that as an actual event. Okay, so the next question. We've got a couple more that I'd like to do today. Let's have a little feel. Right. Copper feel of these questions. Okay. Have you ever been recognised by a fan? And this is from Ronin Callahan. Well, I have actually been recognised by a fan. Not many. It's happened twice, believe it or not. And considering I'm not the biggest channel in the world, I was quite proud of these times. One was at Eurogamer. Well, that was last year when I went to Eurogame with Kips. And this was kind of cheating because Kips actually invited one of our fans over from like Sweden or somewhere. I can't remember where it was from. I hope he's not watching. However, he went around Eurogamer with us for one of the days, which is quite cool. And then one of the main ones that I like to think about was I was in CEX. CEX is Computer Exchange. It's like I don't know if you have these in America, so I'm just going to describe it anyway. I don't know. But it's like a shop where you go and take in like your old DVDs or games and like computer parts, and you can sell them or buy them for like cheap. It's a cool shop. I like CX. I spend far too much time in there. But there's a guy in Reading, because Reading's where I live in England. You probably found this out already if you're a stalker. But yeah, there's this kid in CX who was in queue in front of me, and he like turned around. He kept like gawping at me for ages, to the point where I was like, "Do you know me?" And he just, yeah, he looked scared, and I hope that I have not scarred him for life. I didn't hit him or anything. I'm not saying that. God, this escalated very quickly. But yeah, he recognised me, which was quite cool. And that was really random, because what's the chances that someone, you know, my channel has quite a broad reach over the years. Over the years, I've got like over 6 million views. And my subscriber base, even though it's about 38,000 now, it has, you know, I've had more subscribers than that have unsubscribed in the past. So, you know, there might be people out there that might recognise me. I don't know. I don't think I'm big enough really in general to attract people that might recognise me. Especially seeing as I've only just started doing face cam. So why would people recognise me? Yeah, I think that's an answer. Okay, so let's do the next one. So the last question I think I'm going to do today, because I don't want to make these too long, is from, let's have a little look, Carly Karma. I think I did one of your questions last time, but you're lucky you've got another one in here. Okay, Marvel versus DC. Now this is a question that's very close to my heart, because I am a bit of a hardcore Marvel fanboy. I have seen like all the Marvel films. My dad has like my dad was like you know, he was around when they all first came out, when these comics were, and he's like shown me all of his old comics. I've like read a lot of comics and other stuff. I don't really like DC. I'm gonna be honest, there's a few characters in DC that I do like. I do like Batman, which is like the most generic one. But aside from that, I don't really know many of the other characters. I think DC have done a really poor job recently of sort of appealing to fans in the film genre. They're bringing out like Batman versus Superman, but also Suicide Squad. Suicide Squad looks really good, so I'm excited about that, but it's overshadowed Batman versus Superman completely, and everyone on the internet seems to agree. So I don't know. Whereas Marvel, they've got to get their game sorted for like the next 10 years, so I appreciate that very much. I do really like Guardians of the Galaxy, and I know a lot of people do at the moment, and that is a bit of a generic answer. But if you were going for something that wasn't the Guardians of the Galaxy, maybe I would go for something like Thor. I like Thor. I had to think about that. You probably noticed the cut there. Thor is good because I'm personally into like fantasy books and stuff like that, in that genre of reading in general. And Thor has always appealed to me just because it's got like real life connotation as such in like the mythology behind it, which I always really appreciated. So I guess that's my reason. But what was I talking about before? I was going to make a point about something. I don't even remember. This is how terrible my mind is. You're going to have to get used to this on Tankard of Truth. I can't even remember the name of it, God's sake. But yeah, Marvel. Let's not go into too much detail, because there might be other Marvel-based questions you might want to ask me. I have no idea. But I think this seems like a good place to end it today. If you enjoyed it and you enjoy the format, I'd really appreciate if you could check out my Facebook group. Maybe give me some questions on there. That'd be cool, because I'll definitely get those. The comment section of this video as well is a good place to leave your questions. And also, just tell me what you think of the format of this, because I'm trying out some new stuff. I don't know, I might be getting better. Just tell me if I'm doing something right, please, for God's sake. Thank you for watching. Goodbye, awkward, awkward goodbye. Awkward.